Hi, I'm April. This is Olivia and Julie. This is traditional Ashtanga. This practice is a gentle, almost meditative practice. It's good for beginners, senior citizens, really anyone who's looking to find some stillness and some calm in their practice. So welcome. I'm glad you're here with us today. So let's begin by finding a comfortable seat, rooting the sit bones down into the mat. You can use a cushion or a blanket. It's important to be comfortable. And let's turn the palms up. Find some length in the spine. Really stretch the crown of the head up to the ceiling. Let's go ahead and close the eyes. We'll take a few minutes here to arrive into our practice today. And bring the awareness to the outside corners of the eyes. Find a bit of softness there. And to the muscles around the mouth. Let's bring a slight smile to the face. We're going to bring our attention to the breath, just simply noticing however it is in this moment. No need to make any modifications or changes. Just simply observe for the next 5 breaths. Notice if the breath is smooth or jittery, deep or shallow. Just allow it to be. Good. And for the next 5 breaths, inhale deeply through the nose, expanding the abdomen out away from the body. Exhale completely, allowing the abdomen to come back toward the spine. 5 breaths with the synchronization. Really allow that abdomen to bulge out on the inhale. Keeping the spine straight and the shoulders down. Good. And for the next 5 breaths, as you inhale, do so with the feeling that you're taking in the goodness, the light, the positivity, the energy around you, and hold on to that while you exhale completely through the nose or the mouth, sending out any tension, worry, negativity, or doubt, whatever you need to let go. 5 breaths like this. Keeping the eyes closed, let's bring the hands to heart center in prayer position. We'll begin our practice with one resounding Om together. Inhale. Om. Gently flutter the eyes open. Release the hands back down to the sides of the body. If you need to adjust your position to be comfortable, please do so. We're going to synchronize the movement of the arms with the breath. So we're allowing the breath to lead. So on the inhale, the right arm's coming up. Exhale as we bend to the left, bringing the gaze up to the finger. Inhale as we open. Exhale as we bend. So move with the pace of your breath, not mine. Take the opportunity to tap into what that looks like for you. You may even need to close the eyes to feel your breath rather than the visual of us. Always inhaling as we open and exhaling as we condense. Good. This will be our last one. All right, and come back to neutral. And let's allow the palms to come to the knees, palms down. And again, moving with the breath. We're going to inhale here. Exhale as the right shoulder comes to the left knee, moving in a big, wide circle. Inhaling as we come up and back. Again, moving with the pace of your breath, letting those sit bones come up off the mat. Feeling the stretch in the side of the lower back. Adjusting for comfort whenever you need to. And see if you can keep the crown of the head down to the tail of the spine in one line. Do one more in this rotation. Okay, and then come back up to neutral and move the opposite way. So really get the shoulder movement into this as well. Bring that shoulder as close to the knee as possible, chin down to the floor, arching the back. Okay, and we'll pause here. Okay, so let's bring the hands out in front of the body, palms facing each other. We're going to cross the right arm over the left and then flip the palms towards each other. Okay, grasp, interlock those fingers. Again, moving with the breath. So inhaling as we flip out. Exhaling as the palms come back toward the body and back out again. So noticing where you're feeling this from the finger joints to the wrists to the elbows, all the way up to the shoulders, keeping those arms strong, the muscles engaged. Notice where your edge is. Keeping those shoulders down away from the ears. And we'll pause here when the arms are outstretched. Undo the hands, circle them back around each other. Good, so we're doing the opposite side here. Interlace the fingers again. Same thing on the other side. If you get confused about this, don't worry. This is about your practice, about what doing what feels right to your body. I should have said at the beginning of class, take my cues as suggestions. This is your practice, your opportunity to feel where your edge is, where you're at today, and respect that. Okay, that'll be our last one. And palms come back down to the knees. We're going to do some neck circles. So let's really isolate the upper body. Again, really reaching the crown of the head toward the ceiling. Shoulders down away from the ears. On the inhale, the right ear goes to the right shoulder. Continue the inhale as the head goes back. Exhale, left ear to left shoulder. And chin comes down to chest. So again, allowing the breath to guide the movements in the body. And again, as this is your practice for your body, wherever you feel any tension or tightness, feel free to pause there. Do a little free movement here to just work out those kinks, whatever you're feeling in the neck. We hold a lot of tension there. Next time the chin is on the chest, let's pause and we'll rotate in the opposite direction. So left ear to left shoulder and back on the inhale. Exhaling as the right ear comes to the right shoulder and chin to chest. Just notice the shoulders, if maybe they scrunched up close to the ears, and see if you can soften them. Notice if the spine is moving as well. See if you can further isolate from the shoulders down to the base of the spine. This will be our last rotation. Okay, pausing from the chin to the chest and then coming back up. All right, so we're going to come up to a tabletop position. So wrists directly below shoulders, knees directly below hips, if that's comfortable for you. And we'll do a few cat-cow breaths. So lifting the tailbone, lifting the head and the gaze all the way up. Belly comes down to the mat. Exhale, push the mat away from you. Feel the shoulder blades separate. Tailbone comes down. Crown of the head comes down. Again, working with the pace of your breath. See if you can be mindful of the movement in every vertebra. Keeping those arms strong, the fingers planted into the mat. We're always breathing in through the nose. On the out breath, you can breathe out through the nose or the mouth, whatever is comfortable for you. We'll do one more here. Really get a nice stretch in the shoulder blades on this last one. Good. Allow the back to come back to a neutral tabletop. And let's move that left knee in just slightly to support with balance. Gaze straight ahead. We're going to bring the right leg up. Toes pointing down, heel pushing back to the wall, calf is engaged, knee is pulled up, thigh is engaged. Feel the glutes, tighten that belly, and continue to breathe. Fine if you want to stay here. If you want to get a little bit more out of this, go ahead and bring the left arm up. See if you can feel the muscles in the palm of the hand, stretching those fingertips forward, gaze straight ahead, engaging the forearm, the upper arm, the shoulder, and breathing deeply. One more breath. Good. On the exhale, let's bring them back down to the mat. And again, adjust the position of the knees if you need to. This time, bringing the right one in a little bit closer to center. Gaze straight ahead, fingers planted into the mat. And on the inhale, we're going to raise the left leg. So a straight line from the crown of the head all the way down to the heel. Toes pointing down. Engage the sole of the foot. Feel those muscles. See if you can connect with them. Breathing deeply. Tighten that calf. Pull the kneecap up. Thighs engaged. Glutes all the way up to the core. Fine to stay here if you're getting enough out of this. If you want a little bit more, you can bring the right arm up. Stretching those fingertips, feeling the palm of the hand all the way up to the shoulder, breathing deeply. Notice if there's some wobbling and some rocking, engaging your balance here. Good. Exhale, bringing them back down to the mat. Let's go ahead and separate the knees a little bit here, and we'll come back to a child's pose. So whatever is completely comfortable for you. Forehead to the mat. Allow the arms to rest. Notice if you're holding any tension, maybe some tightness in the belly and the shoulders. Notice if you've lost the smile on your face and welcome it back. Take a minute here to deeply engage with that breath again. Good. On the next inhale, we're going to gently come up, using the hands to push yourself up from the mat. We'll come up to the top of the mat for a few rounds of Suriya Namaskara or sun salutation. And again, take everything I say as a suggestion, all of my cues. If you need to pause and really kick it hard and get something more than what I'm offering you, please do. At any time, if you need a child's pose or need to pause, please do that as well. Okay. So toes are together, heels are together. Let's bring the toes up off the mat, separate them widely, bring them back down to the mat. Really grip the mat with those toes. Feel the calves engaged, the kneecaps pulled up. The thighs are tight all the way up to the core. We're going to tuck the pelvis in. Good. On the in-breath, let's bring both arms up in front of the body and bend back. Exhale, slowly coming forward. Go ahead and bend those knees, moving with the breath. Plant the fingers in line with the toes, and we'll pedal one heel, then the other, keeping a nice bend in the knees. Feeling this in the hamstrings and the calves. Keep pedaling those heels. Good. On the next inhale, right leg goes back. Knee can go down to the mat. Gaze up at the ceiling. Inhale deeply and exhale completely. One more inhale here. And on the exhale, we're going to kick that left leg back as well, coming up into high plank. Fine to modify by putting the knees down here for a little extra support. Engaging that deep belly breathing, keeping that core tightened. One more breath here. Notice the stamina that you have to withstand and keep your strength. Good. On the next inhale, knees go down to the mat. Exhale as the body goes back to child's pose. Forehead on the mat. Allow the arms to come down, resting the elbows, reconnect with the breath. Keeping the forehead on the mat, we'll take one deep inhale here. Exhale, coming forward, chin, chest, knees, and toes on the mat. Tailbone reaching up to the ceiling. Make sure those elbows are in close to the ribs. Deep breath. One more inhale. Good. And let's stretch the legs behind us on the next inhale. Bring the upper body up to Bhujangasana or Cobra. Ensure that the lower back is doing the work here so we could lift the palms up off the mat. Keeping those shoulders away from the ears. Notice as you breathe deeply the movement in the torso, as if the body were rocking on waves of the ocean. Good. One more inhale here. And on the exhale, let's push up into downward dog. So again, we're going to pedal one foot, then the other. And let's just take a minute here to check in with your body. Be curious about what you're feeling. If you're feeling any tightness that you need to work out, go ahead and do so. So it might be lifting one leg up, then the other. Might be shaking the head side to side. It might be going directly to a child's pose if that's what you need. Just a few minutes here for free flow. And checking in with how you're feeling. Make sure to get a few pedals with those heels in as well. Good. On the next inhale, knees go down to the mat. Exhale as the body goes back to child's pose. Forehead to the mat. Arms relaxed. Breathing deeply. Good. On the next inhale, let's come forward, planting the right leg between the palms, left knee down to the mat, gaze up to the ceiling. Inhaling deeply, exhaling completely. One more inhale here. Exhale, bringing that left leg forward, keeping a bend in the knees, keeping the palms right where they are on the mat. We're going to pedal one heel, then the other. Good. Lowering the heels down to the mat, keeping a bend in the knees. On the inhale, we're going to slowly bring the arms up so that they're in line with the ears. Then slowly, vertebra by vertebra, raising up to a stand. We're going to straighten the knees last and bend back. Exhale, coming forward, hands together in prayer position. We'll pause here for 2 deep breaths. Good. On the next inhale, bringing the arms up with the movement of the breath, straight up ahead and bend back. Exhale, coming forward, bending the knees, planting the palms in line with the toes. Just pedal one heel, then the other. Breathing deeply the whole way. Inhale as the left leg goes back into a lunge, knee down to the mat, gaze up at the ceiling. Inhaling deeply, opening that chest, broadening the shoulders. Exhale completely. One more deep inhale. Good. On the exhale, let's bring the right leg back, coming up into high plank. Again, coming down to the knees. If you need a little extra support, shoulders directly above the wrists. Keep that core engaged, breathing deeply. Notice if there's any trembling, welcome that. You're doing the practice correctly. Good. One last breath. On the next inhale, knees go down to the mat. Exhale, body goes back to child's pose, tucking the toes, forehead to the mat. Release the arms. Take a minute to reconnect with that deep breathing if you've let it go. Good. With the forehead on the mat, we'll take one deep inhale. Exhale, coming forward, chin, chest, knees, and toes to the mat, tailbone up, shoulders down away from the ears, elbows close into the ribs, breathing deeply. Good. One more inhale. Good. On the next inhale, let's straighten the legs behind the body. Come up into Bhujangasana or Cobra, allowing the lower back to do the work here. Notice the movement of the air throughout the body, the power of the breath to move the entire torso. Good. One more inhale here. Exhale, push the mat away from the body. Come up into downward dog. And again, we'll take a minute here to pedal the heels, whatever your body is asking for. Okay, next inhale, knees go down to the mat. Exhale, body goes back into child's pose. Forehead to the mat. See if you can release every muscle here. And just simply focusing on the breath for a moment. Good. On the next inhale, we're going to come up, place the left foot between the palms, right knee down to the mat, gaze up at the ceiling. Inhale deeply, open those shoulders. One more inhale. Good. On the exhale, come forward with the right leg. Keep a nice bend in those knees. And we're going to pedal one heel, then the other. All right, heels down to the mat. Keep a bend in the knees. On the inhale, gently bring the arms up so they're in line with the ears. Slowly bring the body up vertebra by vertebra. Straighten the knees last and bend back. Good. Exhale, coming forward, hands together in prayer position. All right, so we're going to take a moment here. Find some distance between the feet, shoulder or hip distance apart. We're going to inhale, bringing the arms up. Exhale, pivot at the hips, release. Really let that out breath go. Bend the knees. Allow the body just to drop. Releasing whatever you need to let go of rather. Perfection is one of mine. All right, one more. Exhale. Coming up on the inhale with the arms up. Allow them to slowly float down to the sides of the body. Keeping the eyes closed. We'll pause here for a few moments. Notice the sensations in the body. Notice what's happening with the mind. Notice if you're tightening any muscles, maybe the glutes, the belly. Gently soften. Good. A few more breaths here. Okay, and let's flutter the eyes open with a few blinks. Okay. So we're going to find our tree pose. So let's bring the feet together. Again, really rooting the toes down into the mat, heels together, tightening the calves, pulling the kneecaps up, finding the strength in the thighs, in the core. So a few options here. You can do a kickstand, which Olivia will demonstrate. If you have any knee pain, please stay here. You can come up to the calf, all the way up to the thigh. Please avoid the knee. Or if you want to get a little bit more out of this, you can flip the top of the foot down on the hip. Feel free if you're in this position to keep that hand there for support or not, whatever works for you. Let's find our stillness here before we rush into the pose. Inhaling, bringing the arms all the way up. Palms together. Exhale, bring them back down to heart center. We're going to pause here for a few breaths. So this is really good for concentration, for memory, strength of the legs, obviously. If you want to push yourself a little bit more, see if you can go ahead and close the eyes. If you do, envision yourself completely confident, strong and tall, not wavering at all. Good. If you fall out of the pose, allow that to happen. Good. Inhale, bringing the arms back up. Exhale, allowing them to float back down to the body. Release that leg, and then shake that out however you need to. Maybe rotating the ankle, kicking the knee out. Okay, so we'll do the other side. So again, really finding our root into the earth here, the toes. Feeling the calves strong, the knees all the way up to the core. Good, and we'll bring the left leg up this time. This side might be different than the other. So notice where you're at today. Notice where you're at in this moment. Good. Once you find your stability here, on the next inhale, we'll raise the arms up. Palms together. Drop them down to heart center. Good. Feel the strength in the legs. Feel that you're rooted down into the earth. Notice if you're tightening any part of the body that's not necessary, perhaps a furrow in the brow, tight shoulders maybe. Always breathing deeply. On the next inhale, hands go up. Exhale, release them back down to the sides and let that left leg go. Again, we're just going to work that out however you need to. All right, so let's find some distance between the feet here. So about 3 feet, toes pointing forward. The inhale, we're going to bring the arms up. Pause here. And let's rotate that right foot out to the side. Good. Deep inhale here. On the exhale, we're just going to bend to the right. Bring the gaze up to the fingers. Imagine as if the entire back of the body was up against a wall. Shoulder blades, finger, glutes, all the way down to the heel. So we're not twisting at all, simply bending. With each inhale, see if you can bring that neck around so that the gaze meets the finger. Lengthen that crown of the head toward the side. With each exhale, go slightly deeper into the pose, noticing where your edge is. One more breath here. Good. Inhaling, coming up. We'll bring that right leg back, facing forward. Rotate the left leg out. Deep inhale here. Exhale, bending to the left. Gaze up at the ceiling. Again, just noticing where you're at today. Noticing if one side is different than the other. It's not about coming into the full position. It's about honoring where you're at today. Noticing where you can relax into the position. Noticing where you want to push yourself a little bit harder. Good. One more breath. Good. Coming up on the inhale. Allow that foot to come back toward the front. Dropping the hands down. We'll keep the legs here. You may want to bring them a little bit closer. Maybe 3 feet apart or so. Actually, I'm going to turn sideways so you can have the side view here. All right, let's bring the hands behind the body, interlock the fingers. If you have any shoulder pain, be really gentle with this. Straightening those elbows, shoulders away from the ears. Deep inhale. Exhale, we're going to bend forward, and we're just going to pause when the torso is in line. Is parallel with the floor. So keeping the gaze straight ahead, we're getting a nice stretch in the neck. You're probably feeling this in the hamstrings. Breathing deeply. Good. And go ahead and bring those arms up. If that feels okay for you, stretching the fingers up a little bit closer with each breath to the ceiling. Notice if you're meeting the tightness with any tension. See if you can just relax into that. Allowing the stretch. Good. We'll inhale, bringing the arms down to the body if they're up. Next inhale, coming slowly up. Good. Releasing the hands, and again, just shaking that out however you need to. Maybe doing some shoulder circles, shaking the wrists. All right, so we'll come down onto the mat for some floor work. So straightening the legs in front of us, toes pointing up to the ceiling. Again, engaging the soles of the feet, something that we're not always cognizant about. See if you can engage those muscles, the calves. See if you can flatten the knees so that there's not much of a gap between the back of the knees and the mat. The thighs are engaged. You may want to rock from side to side, pulling the flesh out so that the sit bones can really connect well with the ground here. And let's keep that spine totally upright. Tall, strong back. Good. On the inhale, we're going to bring the arms up to the sides, all the way up. Exhale, we're just going to pivot at the hips. So keeping the back totally straight. Allow the arms to come down and meet wherever they will on the feet. Go ahead and bend those knees if you're feeling this in the hamstring. You want to be feeling it in the back. So as much as you need to bend those knees, go ahead and do so. Lacing the fingers around the toes, perhaps they're here on the shins. With each inhale, we're going to straighten, we're going to lengthen the spine. With each exhale, we're going to use the arms to pull the body a little bit closer down. So ideally, you want to have some connection between the ribs and the thighs here. If you have that connection and the knees are still bent, then on each exhale, you're going to see if you can lower the knees just slightly on each exhale. Again, it's really about meeting yourself where you're at today. Good. On the next inhale, gently releasing the hands, allowing the knees to come back down to the mat. Arms go all the way straight up to the ceiling. Deep inhale here. On the exhale, allow the arms to go out to the sides, falling back to the side body. Okay. So from here, we're going to go onto our back. So scooting forward, being really gentle with coming down. So using the elbows to come all the way down. Keep those knees bent. Actually, no. Straighten the legs. All right. Good. Come up with the upper body, bringing the right knee up, interlacing the fingers around the shin, and pulling that knee close into the chest, as close as possible. Keep that foot engaged, so toes pointing up to the ceiling. Allow the head to release back down to the ground. And we're going to lift the left leg up off the ground just 2 or 3 inches, just slightly. Okay? And let's rotate that left leg in some circles. So your circles might be a foot or 2 feet, it doesn't really matter. Just keeping the leg fully engaged. So we're moving from the hip. The muscles in the legs are fully engaged, toes pointing up. Continue the circles. Good. We'll pause here and then go in the opposite direction. If you want to make your circles wider or more narrow, play around with how that feels. Notice where you're feeling this in the body, in the leg, on the side body, the abdomen, keeping that core engaged. Good. Let's release that left leg down to the mat. Unlock the fingers, release the right leg. Okay, and we'll do the other side. So let's bring the left leg up, bend at the knee, come up, interlace the fingers around the shins, body back down, knee in close as possible to the chest, keeping both feet engaged with toes pointing up to the ceiling. We're going to bring the right leg up just a couple inches off the ground. Go ahead and make your circles. Let's start with clockwise circles. And again, play around with how large or small. Notice where you're feeling this. Notice what it feels like to go super slow. Notice if you've stopped breathing deeply. Welcome that back. Okay, we'll pause here and go in the opposite direction, so anti-clockwise. Keeping that core engaged. Notice if there's some trembling. Again, you're doing it right if you feel that trembling. Good. Release that leg back down to the mat. Go ahead and unlock the fingers around the left leg, bringing both down to the mat. We'll pause here for just a moment. Breathing deeply. Right, let's flip the palms so that they're face down on the mat next to the body. I'm going to bend the knees and then bring the feet all the way up. So soles of the feet are facing the ceiling. Again, keeping those legs engaged, toes pointing down toward the face. Calves are tight, thighs are tight. Really use those palms. Spread the fingers, push the palms into the mat. Breathe deeply. We're going to slowly lower the legs. Going to bring them near 60 degrees. Keep breathing. Down closer to 45 degrees. Notice the trembling. Welcome that. Keep going down to about 15 degrees. Good. All the way down to the mat and release. Go ahead and flip the palms up. Widen the legs. Find some distance between the ankles. Allow the feet to fall out to the sides. Just take a moment here. Connect again with that deep breathing. Notice the sensations in the body. Notice any changes in the mind. Good. And when you're ready, we're going to turn onto the right side or the left if that's more comfortable for you. We're going to use the palms to gently push up to a seated upright position. All right, so we'll move into some pranayama or some breath work. So it's really important that you're comfortable. So if you need to pause the video to go get a blanket if you don't have one nearby, please do so. If you don't have a blanket or a cushion, you can also just fold the mat a couple of layers beneath the sit bones. So the more still and comfortable we can make the body, the more still and relaxed we can have the mind. All right, so coming into a comfortable position, it could look like this, Sukhasana. It could also be Vajrasana. You can also be sitting in a chair. What's important here is that the spine is erect and strong. All right, so I'll talk us through this exercise first, and then we'll practice together. So this is called Nandanu Sandhana. We're going to be sounding on the exhale. So as you do so, see if you can tap into the vibrations within your body. So we're going to take a deep breath in through the nose. We're going to exhale through the mouth, from the belly, sounding ah, then from the chest, sounding ooh, then from the upper chest, sounding Let's come together. So I'll do 2 rounds, and this is what it looks like. So you always want the breath to be comfortable. So don't push yourself to extend either the exhale or the inhale longer than what's comfortable. It's going to have the opposite effect than what we're going for. When you begin sounding and when you end, you want to come into it slowly and gracefully and slowly increase the volume and then slowly decrease. That's going to help you sort of tap into the vibrations in the body. And if that sounds crazy to you, I get it. Just see if you can beat that with a little curiosity. Okay, so let's put our palms up on the knees. Again, we're going to make sure the back is completely straight. Go ahead and close the eyes. And take a few cleansing breaths here. Notice the muscles around the eyes, if they've tightened, if the brow has furrowed. Just gently soften that. And again, we'll bring a nice smile to the face. Okay, we'll begin with an inhale now. Um, So keep going. As you exhale, ah will come from the belly, ooh from the chest, from the upper chest. Good. Um, Notice if you've lost your smile, gently welcome it back. Again, go at your own pace. So your breath and your sounding will not cycle with us necessarily. And let the breath return back to normal. Keeping the eyes closed. Just notice any sensations in the body. Good. With eyes closed, I'll walk you through the next pranayama. We're going to inhale deeply from the belly, from the chest, from the top. And then exhale from the top, from the middle chest, and from the belly. So another one, inhale from the belly, the chest, the upper chest. Exhale from the chest, the middle chest, and the belly. Okay, so keep with the practice. 2 more breaths. Keeping those shoulders down, relaxed, away from the ears. Ensuring the spine is completely upright. 1 more breath. Good. Let's keep the eyes closed for another moment here. Enjoying the stillness. Just notice where the breath goes naturally. Okay, we'll gently open the eyes with a few blinks. Okay, so we'll come down to our mats into Shavasana. So we'll do a deep guided relaxation. You might want to cover yourself with a blanket if it's cold where you're at. Maybe have a pillow underneath the knees or a bolster. Gently lowering the body all the way down into Shavasana. Legs apart, arms away from the body, palms facing up. Maybe raise the upper back up off the mat, bringing the shoulder blades so that they have contact with the floor below. Really taking time here to get comfortable. Again, the more still we can hold the body, the more still we can find in the mind. So let's bring a little bit more space between the feet. Notice what it feels like to take up space. Allow the feet to roll out to the sides. Okay. And I'll walk you through a deep guided relaxation. I'll name body part by body part, and as I do so, bring your full attention and awareness just to that one specific part and relax it as much as possible. Once we go through the legs and the arms, see if you can hold those places completely still for the rest of the practice. So we'll begin on the right side with the right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, the sole of the right foot, the heel of the right foot, the ankle, the right calf, the right knee, the right thigh, the right hip, and the right buttocks. Feel the entirety of the right leg totally relaxed and soft. And now to the left side, to the big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and fifth toe, to the sole of the left foot, the heel, the left ankle, the left calf, the left knee, the left thigh, the left hip, and the left buttocks. Feel both legs entirely relaxed, soft, allowing the floor to support them. I invite you to chant with me one akara, and as you do so, feel the vibration in the lower part of the body. Inhale. Now to the right hand thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, pinky finger, the right palm, the right wrist, the right forearm, right elbow, right upper arm, right shoulder. Feel the entirety of the right arm totally relaxed and soft. And now to the left side, thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and pinky finger. The palm of the left hand, the wrist, the left forearm, the elbow, the left upper arm, the left shoulder. Feeling the left arm totally relaxed and soft. And now to the abdomen, the solar plexus, the chest, the clavicle, the upper back, the middle back, and the lower back. And feel the entire middle region of the body and both arms totally relaxed, trusting the floor to support them. And I invite you to chant one ukara with me. And as you do so, feel the vibration in the middle region of the body. Inhale. And now to the neck, the throat, the chin, the jaw, the muscles around the mouth, the tongue, the cheeks, the muscles around the eyes, the temples, the forehead, the top of the head, the sides of the head, and the back of the head. Feel the entire face and head totally relaxed and soft. And I invite you to chant one kata with me, and as you do so, feel the vibration in the head and the face. Inhale. Allow the awareness to travel to the middle of the body, to the belly, noticing the rise and the fall of the breath. Let's begin to bring a little bit of movement to the body. Maybe moving the fingers and the toes, perhaps the wrists and the ankles, the head from side to side. So find to pause here for another moment of stillness. If you would like to get one last full body stretch, go ahead and reach with the arms up over the head. Engage every muscle from the fingertips down to the shoulders throughout the middle body. Pointing the feet, tighten, tighten, and release. Relax, and let go. And when you're ready, go ahead and gently bring the knees up and toward the chest. Roll onto the right or the left side. Using one arm to support the head. We'll pause here for another moment of coziness. Reconnecting with the breath. Allowing ourselves to just be here in this moment of stillness. And whenever you're ready, let's bring the hands onto the floor, keeping the eyes closed. Push the body up into a seated position using the arms. Whatever comfortable seat you find. Good. Let's bring the hands together, rubbing the palms vigorously, creating some friction between them. And with the eyes still closed, let's place those palms over the closed eyes, blocking out any light. Taking a moment here to appreciate colors, textures, or total stillness and quiet. Another deep inhale. Exhale completely. One more deep inhale. Exhaling through the nose or the mouth. Keeping the eyes closed, we'll gently bring the palms away from the face, bringing them together in prayer position down to heart center. We'll close the class with one resounding Om. Inhale. Om. Allowing the eyes to gently flutter open when you're ready. Thank you for your guidance and your trust. Thank you for allowing me to lead in your practice today. Thank you, Olivia. Thank you, Julie.